This is Multiplaying, episode 14 on November 6th, 2009.
Everybody online, looking good.
A companion podcast to the collaborative blog and gaming community that's playing as life allows. This is Multiplaying.
Well, let's start the insanity.
We have clearance, Clarence.
Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Hello?
Great heavens! What kind of radio show is this?
Reminds me of high school dances.
Alright, shut up, you idiots.
All right.